What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac if you will. And today I'm going to be answering the age-old question, is Charlotte Flair overrated? This week on Raw, we saw her have a medical update segment where she came out to the ring on a crutch, said that her knee isn't doing too good and she may miss Money in the Bank. We then saw Rhea Ripley come down the entranceway on a crutch as well, mimicking Charlotte, eventually got into the ring and said that she can see through Charlotte Flair's mess, that this is all a joke and that Charlotte Flair is a drama queen. Both women went on to try and hit themselves with their crutches. A bit of a crutch fight kind of broke out, and in the end Charlotte Flair escaped the ring in what I think was a completely trash segment. Hope we never see anything like that ever again from two women that are supposed to be top dogs on the Raw brand. And it makes me think, someone that they hold in such high regard as Charlotte Flair, why is she unable to elevate such a segment and just generally elevate this particular feud? I'm going to give my thoughts on this in just a second, so stay tuned. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that's WWE and AEW, so if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into it. Is Charlotte Flair overrated? So I know it's going to be very hard to try to actually come to a decision in regards to this question. Like, yes, she's a 13-time champion in WWE. And yeah, that is a lot of reigns, but come on, is reigns important, or is the amount of days you hold the title and the feud you have as champion more important? Even that as a question alone, you guys put your thoughts down below in the comments. But like I said, my question here of is Charlotte overrated really stems down to who has she ever elevated? Because yes, she can deliver really good matches in the ring. She is a top athlete. Her athleticism is off the charts, one of the best in the division. But when you think about feuds she's had, who has she elevated? Who has she brought on to another level? Her and Rhea Ripley, this is the second time they're kind of going at it. Obviously, we saw when Charlotte Flair beat Rhea Ripley for the NXT Championship some years ago at WrestleMania. And when Charlotte beat her, there was nothing that said that, okay, Rhea Ripley showed a bit of something, you see what I mean? Or she was elevated despite her defeat. It was just Charlotte collecting another title, going to raise the profile of NXT when they were up against AEW. There was nothing that really gave Rhea Ripley the rub, so to speak, off the back of having that loss. And it begs the question, despite all of her reigns, how good is Charlotte Flair? Personally, in my opinion, she's definitely not better than Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is a star-making machine. Whoever she steps in the ring with, the stories that they tell, she elevates everybody and makes everyone feel like a big deal. Bayley somewhat as well does this exact same thing. Io Shirai in NXT does the same thing. I don't feel that despite her reigns and her great matches, Charlotte isn't really able to make others around her feel like they are as important as she is. Every feud she steps into, she is the center focus. She isn't elevating others. She is just winning in most cases. And that may not be a Charlotte problem. It is probably a WWE problem and how they are scripting Charlotte. But how can we then say she is one of the best ever when we compare her to the likes of the Sasha Banks and the Baileys? And if you want to go back even further and say Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, is she doing what these particular men and women have done for other talents on the roster? I'm not quite sure she is. We even see a lot of Charlotte Flair is the Roman Reigns of the women's division. Roman, and I'm talking about pre-tribal chief Roman was elevating guys. Anytime you stepped into the ring with Roman Reigns would put on a great match, allowing that person to get their offense in, really look strong. Roman would fight from underneath, yes, maybe get the win, and that's because, you know, then they were really trying to push him, as we all know, but Roman would still leave that person he fought looking like, okay, this person caused me some problems, they are someone to watch in the future. And you just don't get that same feel when you're watching a Charlotte Flair match. It is never kind of double-sided like that. It's always like a matter of time before Charlotte wins. And when Charlotte doesn't win, you are surprised, you are shocked. Now in this particular feud, I won't wholly put it on Charlotte Flair. I do think that Rhea Ripley is a bit intimidated by Charlotte Flair. All the things that these women have done in the last few years, nothing has really seemed to click, apart from when they are in the ring together. They have good matches, but the stories being told around it, I think there is a bit of that intimidation factor there. We remember the John Cena Roman Reigns promo where John Cena ate Roman Reigns alive. I think there is a bit of that with Rhea Ripley, just a bit nervousness every time she's given a promo segment or something to do alongside Charlotte Flair, apart from in a match situation. Rhea Ripley has went on record and said in her past, in her early days wrestling, she was compared a lot to Charlotte Flair in just appearance alone. Very tall woman, athletic woman, long blonde hair, and that was part of the change that came with Rhea Ripley when we saw her come back with more of this grungier aesthetic. She didn't want to be compared to Charlotte Flair, and maybe it's those comparisons that keep playing on her mind, because every time I see Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair in the ring, Rhea doesn't really look comfortable in that situation. But again, it could be down to the more experienced person in Charlotte Flair to make her feel more comfortable, and this is where my whole question stems from. So to be honest, as I bring this video to a close, I'm not really sure if we're any closer to answering this question. Charlotte Flair is a tremendous athlete with tremendous matches and a great CV, great resume. 13 title wins is nothing to laugh at in about, what, 5 or 6 years? Is absolutely crazy. However, her ability to do stuff that aren't center focused, that aren't focused on herself and elevate others, it is questionable. I think we do have to question that. And in that, could she be deemed overrated, as she isn't doing what's best for the entire team, as she isn't able to bring others up to her level? You guys are gonna have to decide this one for me and put your thoughts down in the chat. It is looking a bit inevitable now that Charlotte Flair probably beats Rhea Ripley at Money in the Bank, and then we get Becky Lynch coming out, and Becky Lynch will then take on Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam, the big match. So maybe that's gonna happen as well. Let me know what you think. Put your thoughts down in the comments. I'm sure we're gonna get a Becky Lynch return at Money in the Bank, probably in this segment or match around the Raw Women's Championship. But yeah, guys, I'm undecided. I'm a bit on the fence about this whole topic about Charlotte being overrated. As fantastic as she is, just some things just aren't clicking. Her ability to elevate others is very questionable, and that is what makes a tremendous superstar as well. It's just not what they can do for themselves, it's what they can do for the others around them and make others on the show feel important. But I'd love to hear your views on this, because as you can see, I'm no closer to making a decision on where my thoughts are on this one. But if you enjoyed today's video, please give us a big thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.